a place that is gentle, kind and light. Nothing would ever trigger a fight. A place that is boundless and wide, where we walk with angels side by side. A place of smiles and happy tears.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, children.
I'm doing things backwards this morning. Let me know if you can hear and see me clearly. And I apologize for just doing everything backwards. I don't know why I'm doing it backwards today, but I am. So, we got some snow, didn't we?
We got a bunch of it.
We got a bunch of snow, and it's cold. It's cold out there, but it feels pretty good when you get out there and get to moving a little bit. I mean, it's supposed to warm up just a little bit today. Maybe some of it will melt.
Really?
Yeah. Yesterday I went out and I shoveled a little bit right around the cars and the door. And today it's a sheet of ice where I shoveled. Baby girl went out, and she's normally go out. She's pretty fast when she goes out the door, and she got to that ice, and her little feet were just slipping. She was trying, her little paw pads was slipping every which way. So she decided, okay, I'm not going far to do my business. I'm going to do it right here, close to the house. And so she did. So we've got some yellow snow spots close to the house. Because she decided I'm not going out there where it's slick, but it's not slick everywhere. It's a little bit powdery out in the yard. So she had a chance to run a ball and have a good time. Now you guys may hear their kids and grown-ups riding scooters and motorbikes and all of that stuff and sleds and all of that stuff, playing around in the snow. But anyway, and it's the first snow. We didn't get any snow last year, did we? None. So anyway, I've been running my mouth. Let me see who's here. Sissy is here. Sissy and brother-in-law. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Y'all got snow down there? There's Bernie. Bernie, are you snowed in? I hope you're not.
No, we don't want you to be that way. You got to get out and smell around a little bit.
You need to move over a little bit. There we go.
Is it better?
Yeah, I'm lopsided. Why am I lopsided? But I am. I don't know. Anyway, the baby girl's down here on the side. And then there's Dee Dee. Hey, Dee Dee. Dee Dee and George. Hey, baby girl. Hey, sweetie. Yeah, there they go. Take it. And then there's Pearl. How you doing, Miss Pearl?
Hello, Miss Pearl.
John Greason's in the house.
Brother John J. Greason Jr.
You said a good morning, pastors and friends.
Okay.
Friends and family. We're the Cornerstone family. There's Danette. Hey, darling. Hope you're having a good time, a good day there in sunny Denmark. Yeah. Good to have you with us this morning, sweetheart. What time is it there when you see us, Danette? Let me know. Thank you, John. He said he'd sing us, hearing us. Thank you. Jill. Jill, how's your mom? How's your mom? Let us know how your mom is doing, hon. I know you said she was in the hospital, and I thought about you. I said, I wonder if everything was going okay. Kathy, I'm glad you're here this morning, darling. She said, love from Florida.
Florida.
Well, we got snow here, Kathy. We got a bunch of snow. Well, and we love it because we didn't get any last year, and everybody in this neighborhood just went berserk. I mean, they were making snowmen, they were sledding, they were riding their scooters, they were, riding their golf carts and pulling sleds, and it was something else to see. They were having a winter wonderland. Brother Blue and the family is here. Hey, Brother Blue.
Good to see you.
Good morning. And Sandra, how are you doing, Sandra? And Marcine. Sandra, how's your hip? She had hip surgery, and she's recovering. And let us know how you're doing, sweetheart. And Sissy said, yes, they could hear us, and they didn't get much snow.
They didn't?
Oh, you're just 45 minutes from us? No, about an hour from us. You didn't get any snow?
That's the sister you talking to?
Yeah.
Come on, bring me a hot dog, girl.
You didn't get much snow down there. Wow. So are you gonna have to go to work tomorrow?
Yep.
Good morning, Jill. Brother Kessler was over here last night. Hey, Brother K. And he was fixing my lamp. Me, him, oh, the two of us got out there, and it was something else to fix that porch lamp. Wow. But we got it. And it's working fine. Thank you, Brother K. And there's Phyllis and Edward.
Y'all doing okay? I see.
Yeah.
Online, you doing all right?
And Olivia's with us today.
Olivia.
Hey, darling. How are you?
That's Clinton Green, baby.
Yeah, I know, but you skipping down. Now Olivia's here. And you got to acknowledge that Olivia is here. Yeah.
Olivia Newton-John. Yeah.
And there's Kim. Olivia, I know you guys got some snow. If you're in the north, you probably got quite a bit. And Kim's here. Sinette said what's 1,600 hours? What is that?
I don't know. That's military something.
1,600 hours. You got to break it down for me. I don't know that, Sinette. What time is it there?
Military.
Yeah. Are you a military girl? Anyway, CJ's here again. Hey, CJ. CJ, are you in Maryland now? Or is that where you are? Let me know. Jill just says her mom was transferred to rehab and the insurance partially approved her stay. Oh, insurance, I tell you.
They really something.
That's why the CEO of United Healthcare got shot and died, because of the way the insurance companies are messing over people and not paying their claims and stuff. That's crazy. But anyway, I'm glad she's doing okay. She's transferred to rehab. And just that said, the sun is going down in Denmark now.
Now you're gonna have to put a string around a rope and pull it back up.
See, and we're just now getting started in our day, so her day's ending over there. Sister Sharon's here.
Sharon J.
Brenda says she can get out, not snowed in. Good, sweetie pie. Somebody shovel your driveway for you in one way. And then Sandra says she's getting along pretty well. Good. And Olivia said they got too much snow.
Yeah, I heard about them up there.
So Sinette says it's 4 in the. I'm talking too much. It's 4 in the afternoon in Denmark. Yeah. Thank you, Brooke K. Brooke K knew what it was. Hey, Brooke K. Yeah, you a military brat.
That's what that is.
It's 4 p.m. 4 in the evening. And CJ said he is in Maryland. Well, I'm glad to have you guys with us this morning. And all of the rest of you who are not saying anything online and we don't see you there, we know that you're here watching with us. And we thank you.
I got a leaky pipe.
You do.
Okay.
My honey pie here woke up excited today, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I was looking at something.
He was about to just preach to me, and I said, "Hold it, don't discharge it, because you won't be able to get it out to everybody else."
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Hey Val, I'm glad you're here, sweetheart.
Good to see you. I can see you on the picture. Yeah, I see you, Miss Valerie.
Yeah, Valerie.
I remember you, Miss Valerie. You was a little girl when we saw you. I think you were young. Really? Oh,
you think so?
I think so. I look at the picture. You look like somebody I saw on the other side and
blow it up
and followed me over.
Yeah, I know who Valerie is. Of course.
Let me see. We see the picture.
Yeah, I had to blow the picture up to see it. See, there she is.
Oh, shucks, yeah.
Yeah, we know Miss Valerie. Yeah. But anyway, you got something good to tell us today, don't you?
Yeah. I was up this morning about 4 or 5, and I was looking at this lady on there who had a bad infection. What they call sepsis or something like that.
Yeah, she got staph in her bloodstream. So
yeah, staph. And she said while she was working painting in the house, she said she got to be real hungry and she had to get something to eat right away. So she went to this place and she saw this man cooking on the stove, and she knew watching the stove that he wasn't too clean. But she said he was scrambling egg or something like that, and on grill, and she just took it anyway because she was so hungry. But she said after that, she got internal infection from the food that she ate, and mother and father, their family had to take her to the hospital, and that she said that it was good that now they discovered medication to help people through that. But she got so sick that she couldn't say words. So what happened to her? She had a near-death experience, and she left her body.
Mm-hmm.
And when she did, um, she was in and out of the experience. But she tried to tell the family, but she couldn't open her mouth to say it. And while she was over there, she said Jesus appeared to her. And when he did, it was the brightest light. She said, I can't give you the details of it now, but she said it was the brightest, he was the brightest light, but yet she operated out of knowing. And she mentioned on there that you can read, and she was, incidentally, she was a Christian. Her family was fully loaded Christian, front and back and everything that you can name that they were. And she said, the first thing he asked her was, how you feeling today? And the guy that was a host, the program, I could tell he didn't go for that, because usually when people see him, he always tell them what they're asking, or what he always knowing everything without them asking. That's what she said. It takes a lot of strength for me to push, but my vocal cord is just, it ain't.
Yeah, his voice hasn't returned after the surgery yet.
And she said the key to it was that he wasn't talking with his lips. He was talking with
you don't have to push so hard.
Okay. He was talking with his knowing self. And she said she knew who he was. And she got healed instantly over there. I wish everybody didn't have to go through something like that to get healed, but that's what she said. Yeah. But as she was talking, I was sitting in the chair and the Lord started talking to me. Now, I've been asking him over and over again, and that's inside. I didn't know I was, you could become aware of it. But here's another thing she said. She said, you can read all the books and information about Jesus and the Bible. And yet she switched over and said, it is the word. But she said this. She said, you can read everything and still not know him. You can meditate on different things and still not know. But when you see him, he is totally different than what you read.
Yes.
But yet she explained to him what she was trying to say. But most of the things that she said, you couldn't find words. She said words to say. She said he was so much love that the brain, she pointed up here to the brain, could not hold it. The head would not hold it. He was no judgment, but she said he was all full and made up full of forgiveness.
Wow.
And she talked about how that was so much in him that it fulfilled her. No words or something. No, everything was at peace. The distraction of the mind, everything cleared up. But when she said that, he started talking inside to me. And I said, yes. And he explained to me why you guys, all of us on earth, when we're born into this dimension, coming into this dimension, the families that we chose to be a part of, we chose them.
Yes.
And he revealed to me all the details of what we had to go through. We chose that.
Yes.
To be born in an abortion situation, go back and come, or to have a abusive home, or to be left in poverty, to be cold and no food to eat. And even like those people in California, they don't understand, like a lot of us, well, they don't understand why this happened in California and still going on now. It's a divine mystery behind it, but some people are trying to translate it into the wrath of God and judgment. But this lady said when she saw Jesus beyond the fires in California, said he was so much forgiveness and he was so much love that she knew her brain couldn't hold it. Then he, like I said, he started talking to me about and answering the question to me, how to talk to him on the inside of ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. Can I just add
Mhm,
one
go
thing
ahead.
while you're talking, hon? You pointed out something about how we chose our families, and it's we chose our families
And the
not
situation.
and the situation knowing that it was going to be the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of us were born into severely dysfunctional
Yes,
families
yes.
and went through a lot of harm, hurt, uh, neglect, abuse, whatever. And I realize now that the reason for that is that because you're here now awake
Mm-hmm.
and aware of who you are
Mm-hmm.
and aware of God as the you that you are,
Mm-hmm.
you have been chosen uh, to be the one to bring healing to
Oh,
get healed
okay. You saying
so that
everything that I was gonna
so
say.
that family
That's what he said.
would be redeemed.
That's right. He said the way he showed me this morning, he said in detail in the Akashic records and the facilitators that work with us, we agreed to come here to go through everything and to meet everybody in our family and outside of our families, which we all are family in God.
Yes,
But she
yes.
just it was described to me. He started talking to me, and here's what he said. He said, "I want to teach you, show you how to really talk to me inside yourself."
Yes, yes.
And I said, "Okay." I said, "What?" He said, "You've been talking to me all the time." But he said, he showed me, he said, "Now, I want you to understand that the place that I live in," and I think he told me this years ago, but he just slipped away from me. He said, "I live in the subconscious, superconscious part of your brain
Yes,
through your
yes,
body."
yes.
He said, just like you've been, I didn't give it all up, but just like you've been telling people in the class how the right brain work through memory, what do you call that? Through smell and taste,
Olfactory.
olfactory. He said,
Yes.
I speak through the olfactory system of your
Anatomy.
anatomy, yeah, or the brain or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And he said, all the, he said, if you're living, gosh, he said so much. He explained to me what hell was
Yes, okay.
inside of everybody,
Yes.
and it's in the programming.
It is. So this is what I've noticed, that those of us who don't come to the point of transcending the suffering in the midst of the challenge,
Transcending the what?
the suffering.
And when you said that, he said inside of your mouth for me, he said, transcending the software.
Okay, yes.
That's what he said.
Yes, which is the programming.
Mm-hmm.
When we don't, then that means that we are then in hell. We're in hell. Our psyche is in hell
Mm-hmm.
already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're talking about pointing to what?
Mm-hmm. I just pointed to you with something not to say. Anyway, he said to me, he said, if PTSD in the subconscious area is hell,
Yes.
everything that goes over and over in the brain or the mind
Mhm.
is hell. But he said, that place that I live inside of you is what in the same place that Peter said when Jesus asked him, who do men say I, the Son of Man, am? Peter said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus said, blessed art thou, Peter, for flesh and blood have not revealed this unto you, but my Father which is in heaven.
So heaven and hell are right here.
All right, let me go on, because we said this over again. Then Jesus began to talk about in 3 days, they were going to crucify him in 3 days. He coming back. Peter said, be this far from you? No. And Jesus began to say to him, from the same place that he told him where the Father was the same place where hell was. I'm sorry, Well,
the devil was.
well, those words that he said was Satan. Satan,
Yes.
what's called the Luciferian principle.
Yes.
The Luciferian principle, the kingdom of God, hell and heaven was in the subconscious mind.
So, if based on what you just said, we enter heaven
Mhm.
or we enter hell while we're here in these bodies.
Okay, hear this now. When that little girl come online and she was talking about her near-death experience, it was explained to me through spirit that we've been taught in the church the same technical principle that we were taught in school based on Columbus and Queen Isabella. We think that all Black people come from Africa and that all of us didn't come to earth until we came through Adam and Eve. Sin entered into the world. He said that was not our beginning.
No.
There is no beginning and no end to the eternal self.
Yes.
I want you to get this because we always been taught in school, Columbus discovered America and that the earth was flat. And we done found out that that was a lie. That wasn't true. We also have found out that when we teach in church from Genesis, that Genesis was the beginning or the foundation of all men. And then after that, all of us, then after that come the prehistoric age and then the caveman and all that. He said, all of that is lies and not true. Just point blank me right there. He said, the body of the mind of the ego uses the suffering and the pain and even Adam and Eve eating the forbidden fruit to block the doorway to our true identity,
Yes.
which means we came or we didn't come, or we might make the statement, our originality was not the sin that Adam and Eve did. We were already inside of Christ, inside of the Father, before the body was formed. He told Jeremiah 1:5, I'm giving you a book. Before you were formed in the belly, he said, I knew you. So we were before Adam. Let's say it like this, more gentle to you. Adam and Eve was our cousin in heaven, or our brother and sister in heaven, or our real self, part of our eternal self, or was our true identity in heaven before coming to earth. Get this, because I'm solving the riddle of where God is inside of us. He told me this morning, he said, my house is the same place where the Luciferian principle was activated in Peter.
Yes.
When he told the Lord that he was not going to go to the cross, and Jesus said he said the things of Satan. So if he was saying the things of Satan and the Father from the same place, there we are now clear on who we are, where we are before entering into the mother's womb.
So you said so much.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's a scripture that talks about that the darkness and light is the same to God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So our minds, we as in our conditionings,
that's conditioning,
in our learned behavior,
and that's
our dysfunctional.
That's right. Everything.
Dysfunctional information that we've received,
likes and dislikes.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just working with you.
Distorted information that we receive. We know nothing but division, and even with what you just mentioned, heaven and hell exist in the same place.
Yeah,
our minds say that's impossible.
Yes,
light and darkness exist in the same place.
Yes,
not as separate entities. And so this, because we only know division, we only know separateness. Separateness. We our minds can't wrap around that.
That's right.
Now I like what Jill said. Jill said the religious mind and the knower coexist.
Yeah. And see, that's what Jesus was doing when he discerned Peter's voice. He didn't tell Peter point blank that he was going to go to hell because he said that. He told him at the end, hold this to yourself.
Yes.
And that might be what I need to do. But at the same time, I'm telling you this because I wanted to know. I want you to know. I want to know. That sounds like a song to me.
It is a song, but I can't remember how it goes.
Who I am, who you are, I am as him, you and me are one and the same from the same dimension.
I said this morning that when this morning, yesterday too, while I was walking, I have not lost. There are times I feel I've lost God. Let me start.
Okay, that's it.
Let me start.
You good. You good. You good.
But what I realize is that I've lost the experience of God.
Yes.
As an exchange for oneness.
That information that floated up about you feeling bad and judgment, that's a float up from the subconscious mind.
Yeah. So oneness, and there was, where did I read in here?
Go ahead. Take your time.
Okay, it says in this book, and this is a little book we've read from before. You guys are familiar with it.
Know yourself.
It says, if someone asks you what is the way to union, when you assert that there is no other than him, yet one thing cannot be united to itself. So there are times I feel
God cannot be separated from himself.
It cannot.
So he's really not a self.
One thing cannot be united to itself. So hear me.
Mm-hmm.
So the feeling of God not being here, or the abandonment, or the emptiness, however you want to label it, is the loss of the experience of a God being separate.
Yes.
But it is in fact the experience of oneness.
Yes. This can, in my hand, what you see in the finite world that we're in appears to be an object versus me, physical object too. But once you drink what is in it, it still remains as a separate object inside of you until it is digested.
Yes. So
what is not a part of this tea or whatever it is in here is separated
and goes out as waste.
That's the waste that Jesus was telling Peter that he was speaking from inside himself.
We're getting excited because we're preaching to ourselves right now. Noelle said something really, really good. She said she once heard a voice tell her, I've been here as long as here has been.
Yes, God, thank you, darling. Thank you. I heard the voice tell me I've been here as long and before Columbus sailed. God Almighty, Lord,
now let me read.
Glory.
Let me
go ahead.
Read this. There is no doubt that in reality there is neither union nor separation.
That's right.
Distance or closeness.
That's right.
Since union is only possible between two things.
Okay.
Now get this.
Go ahead.
Union is only possible between two things.
Go ahead.
And if there is only one, there can be neither union nor separation.
Yes.
Union requires two things.
Yes.
Which are either similar, in which case they are equal, or not
likeness.
Similar.
Yeah.
In which case they are opposites.
Ooh.
Okay. However, he is exalted far above having any opposite.
This
or equal.
Thank you.
Therefore, union lies in something other than union.
Thank you.
Closeness in something other than closeness.
Yes.
And distance in something other than distance. There is union without union, closeness without closeness,
yes,
and distance without distance.
Yes, put a plug in there.
Listen, I mean that in those times of closeness and distance, you were not anything other than God. But you didn't know yourself, and you were not aware that you were always him without you. Oh my God.
My God, this is so, Lord Jesus.
My God. That's so cool.
Let me tell you what he told me again. I said, are you saying to me from within that if I wanted to measure at this point while I went through, or while there was something that went through that seemed to be separated from him from childhood and abusive and shotgun home, he said, yes. He said, you put yourself there.
Yes.
You put yourself there. When he said, when you were sitting on the side of the bed talking to your uncle about the Bible, and he was in front of sitting at the stove, and he was drunk and eating a piece of chicken. That's the truth, man.
I threw the Bible in my daddy's lap while he was eating some chicken. He looked at me like, you a crazy fool.
What did you do, baby?
He looked at me like I was crazy.
About how old
I
you
don't
would you
remember
say?
what I said to him, but I was trying my best to get him to change.
Yeah, you get
And I
stopped.
just throw the
How old
Bible.
was you a teenager then?
No, I was fully grown.
Oh,
Because
Lord.
after we had
Oh,
gotten,
my goodness.
born again, saved. I was
Yeah,
born.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I went to and he looked at me like, you crazy fool. I think it shocked him so much.
I got to remember that
So
one.
he didn't even say anything else. I think he was speechless. It was so funny.
I believe it. Hey, y'all, I believe she scared the hell out of her daddy.
But we were talking about this yesterday, how that some of us born into those dysfunctional, severely dysfunctional,
like we say, born in sin and
families.
shaped in iniquity from our mother's womb. That wasn't us. We was experiencing that in our finite self and the spirit, eternal self, but the eternal self did not get attached to that.
I gotta say this because in talking with you yesterday and about all of the PTSD and that you go through, I gave him an analogy that came to me while we were talking of two children, one having normal walking abilities and he could walk perfectly normal, legs strong and everything. And then there's this other child that's born, his legs, he has two legs, but his legs are weak. The child who has the normal legs, of course, he can function just very easily. But the child who has the weak legs can walk and function, but with much effort.
That's right.
And having to overcome the thought that I can't do this. And so that child has more of a challenge. So people who have gone through PTSD type situations, who have been in severely dysfunctional childhoods, those people are not able to just change a thought like this or shut the mind down like that, because that's the mind is barraging or molesting them. 24/7 pretty much.
Violating their true identity.
So they may get brief moments of relief.
A breached child, a breached being coming into the world. Something he's telling me now about breached children don't always appear to be deformed in the appearance, but the PTSD inside of them
could linger and
take on the form of a defect.
So having that challenge, it's not a physical challenge, but it is an emotional, mental challenge. They are not able to just do what some do when they just take an affirmation and repeat it and everything gets great. It's more challenging.
It's beyond. It's beyond. And let me say this to you, baby, and to all of them. When I say,
go ahead, but I've got to finish.
Go ahead. I can wait.
Because I remember when we were talking about this as well, when we were down at Ambassador, when we were there before we ever started pastoring, we were there at that church and you ministered there and we were members there. And there were, in the beginning of after your conversion, you would cry so hard. And some of you guys who've been with us, you've seen him do it. He would literally travail and cry and just mourn. It was like a grief. And you would do that. And you would start off with that, and the Spirit of God would use it.
Yes.
And then you would get so far into the suffering,
Yes.
so deep
Identify
into the
them.
suffering. And I told him, I said, I remember you would get down in that, you would be so deep in the suffering and the travail, and all of a sudden I would see him do this. He would go, and so there was like and when you would come out like that, you did whatever miracle or whatever you had to do.
Whatever was in there, the pressure
strength,
build up. I'm telling you how to do it.
This is the way it is. The strength, the determination, the faith, the audacity, whatever you needed was right there.
Glory, so that's it.
What happened was there was a you that was so broken.
Yes, that was the heart of Jesus that he showed me.
Broken, and yet there was a you that came up out like the phoenix
come
rising
through the
up out
smoke.
of the fire. It
ascended.
In the midst of that broken one,
yes, we're excited.
Was one that was absolutely
pure,
powerful.
Absolutely all that God is, like a teaspoon of water from the ocean is the full element of the ocean. Yeah,
and they coexist.
They coexist in the same place.
Yes, and God used it.
God, I tell you, y'all talk to me. Come back to me. Come on, God, break a 1-9, kick it back. You know, this is something to tell the captain if the captain is on the boat.
Yes.
Now,
there's a you.
Yeah.
There may be a you that feels like it's under the suffering, under the weather,
in prison.
But then there is a you that is able to come up out of it.
That's right. And now I understand this. Giving birth to a child or flower growing, it is using our selves, our Christ eternal power. Yes, it's not called power. Some call it energy. Yes. Some call it light. My pipe is leaking, is bleeding too.
Well, don't tell us all that.
Oh Lord, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get. I'm excited. I got the heebie-jeebies too. Dog. This stuff is so right. I mean, it's the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? This is what make you. This will make your mama come in the kitchen and say, "Stop jumping up and down on the floor. I got a cake in the stove." Well, I got a cake. John Gleason, I got a cake in the stove, and my pie is my pie done stay in there too long till it doesn't start frying. I am knowing that the Christ that we are always have been that. The power of anything that is being used. Take, for instance, our new political leader of the country is also experiencing the side effects of a divine purpose in the universe. But God is in the same compartment that he is in him, that he is in us. Now, remember this. Omnipotence, omnipresence doesn't mean that God stopped with one and omitted the universal presence of God being everywhere at one time. The mystery behind this is God never, ever ceased to exist in any area that we may think in the monkey mind that he is gone. You can go in the liquor store and buy a fifth of Jack Daniel, and God will be in the store looking and being everybody else buying a fifth of Jack Daniel and never be defiled. That's what got me free and keeps me free from the PTSD, PTSD.
So now, because there was a time when my mind I could not reconcile.
Not to Jack Daniel, that is.
There was a time when I couldn't reconcile that Christ is in every one of us
already,
and yet this is a very broken world.
Yes,
and a very evil world. When you look at it through that lens.
Yes.
However, I'm realizing now that Christ is in every man or is every man. However, those that appear evil. It's not that they're evil, but the evil is ones that are led by separation.
They chose.
That is what is evil.
That's right.
They are led by separation mentality. And then we label that as evil. So
Yeah,
that there
yeah.
are those who Christ is in,
Yeah.
yet they are still led by that separatist mindset.
And he's still there.
And that causes it
The
to
same thing
appear
that happened to
evil.
Peter.
So that's why the world appears broken. That's why the world appears evil.
Appears to be in this story of the illusion. Now,
so now, I remember too, I heard a preacher say this, and I think it's worth saying again. He said we've been taught in a lot of our churches in places to follow the voice of God, follow the Spirit of God. But what we really should be doing is following the love of God.
Something he just said in the mirror, say this and say it now, if you can. I forgive that part of me that believes and acts like it's separated from my true God identity.
Yes, I forgive that.
I forgive myself.
Young
I forgive
young man, young woman.
I forgive myself or that part of me. I forgive that part of me that believes and always have believed that it's separated from God.
Yes. I like, hey, Robert, man, and Denise, I'm so glad you're with us this morning. He says, we are supposed to help each other find our own magic inside.
Now, that's what the preacher's supposed to do.
That's what we're supposed to do.
That's what all of us supposed to do with each other, which we'll omit. I'm going to tell you something, Robert, and you know this. If you go deep enough into this true identity, you are going to take the monkey mind through its in its fallen state, seemingly, not us. You're going to take the monkey mind and use it to assist the fire of God that we are inside next door in the same compartment with it. We are the victorious fire that burns up everything of the PTSD and uses it as an asset sitting over the bank, use it as an asset to spearhead what we might call after we get saved and after we get the Holy Ghost. All of that is compartmentalized inside of us. Yes. All of that.
And we
it's amazing.
When we're identifying as human beings, we only know compartmentalizing. That's all we know. We put everything in compartments. Everything.
This stuff is right.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
They're typing that in, Pastor.
Yeah.
I forgive that part of me. They're typing that in.
Yeah.
Yes. So Sinette says you don't stop war by hating war, but by loving peace.
That's the Christ.
Yes. Now I'm going to read just a little bit of this.
And that's powerful too. Go ahead.
Can I read a little of this? Okay. It says, in those times, let's see where I'll go here. We were just talking about the union without union, right? Yeah. I mean that in those times of closeness and distance, you are not anything other than God, but you did not know yourself, and you were not aware that you were always Him without you. When you teach God, listen to this. When you teach God, that is, when you know yourself in a way that is beyond all condition.
What?
You know that you are Him, and you don't know before whether you were Him or other than Him.
Yes.
When knowledge comes upon you, you know that it is through God.
True light.
Listen.
Look, go ahead.
When knowledge comes upon you, you know that it is through God that you know God.
Whoa.
Not through yourself.
Whoa. You got more? You can put that on
that page. Right there, because you about to bust.
Oh, I'm busted it. I done busted it at the scene. Like I told Mr. Kessler yesterday, I said, do you know you got a tear in your britches?
So everything good that comes from us is God. Everything that comes from us is
That's
God.
What he said, and perfect.
If it is something that we label not good, then it is that part of us that is still identified with separation.
There you go. Lord have mercy on Jesus.
It's simple. It's very simple.
Very simple. Ain't that something?
Very simple.
Well, now I want you guys to come back with a response.
They are responding. They're typing in what you told
We are supposed to help each other. Come on, talk to us, because I'm so excited about the thing about the bust at the scene.
So knowing that this is a broken world and that there is what we call evil, but it is not evil. It is those that are led by separation.
That
there are times we fall into that.
Yeah,
we fall into
every time we start out like we are now, or in a daily life activity, it's the mind that gives us the idea that we switch back and forth. Spirit is flesh, and spirit the flesh. Walk in the spirit. You would call walking in the spirit what we're talking about now, but it's no such thing.
So, having said all of this,
having said
oneness is not an experience.
That's right. It's just a statement.
It can't be an experience because
Lord Jesus, thank you.
Oneness cannot be united to itself. So
because it is
one.
Gosh.
Union requires two, and we just read that. Union requires two. So
and this is true inside. You can feel it.
When the one that experiences God as an other is gone and dissolved, there is only the one left.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
And that one left feels like, to that one who's always had the experience of God being here, God being present, that one now has no other to relate to because it is that other.
God.
And so get familiar with this.
God wakes up inside of us and returns back to the kingdom that he has always been.
Yes.
I feel that in my soul, my memory. I get my ancient
our
memory
divine
back.
memory is.
Oh, Melchizedek order. The house is coming together. The stones that the builders rejected has now been accepted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You look so good. Wow. I could chew you, bite you, and cut out a piece of cake.
This morning has been so good to me. It's good to me.
So good.
It's good to me.
That's the song where you sing. Say, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Something is telling me go ahead. You remember that old song?
Yes, that's all I remember.
Yeah. If I live right. I don't remember that. Something like that.
I don't remember that.
Is it go ahead? Because something is telling me go ahead. Oh, I just had to fix it there. I'm gonna tell you, I didn't want to take a chance on quitting my day job and go on the highway to sing because I think we're starved.
We might not get anything. We might not. We had a neighbor come up here the other day because she has a golf cart. And you heard us, something on that. You heard us talk about her. My neighbor that comes and works in our yard was Jan. That's her name, Jan. Jan came and told us that her golf cart was broken down.
I see.
And she needs money to get it repaired. 6 batteries in it, and they're $175 a piece.
Something like that.
And so she came up here and she had a little cup.
Yeah, like a little tiny stainless steel cup.
Said she came to get an offering. I said, well, you need a bigger cup.
You ain't like, she come with me. I said, Miss Jan, please. But I know now what that is.
Okay.
What's bugging her.
Yeah.
I just saw it, and I will respond.
The PTSD.
Yeah, the PTSD.
That we're familiar with. John Greason said, "Bring on the meat."
Every man. Robert said something.
Lord have mercy. Y'all preaching now.
The word Antichrist doesn't mean opposite to. It means other than.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. So that's what we're saying. Oneness. Once the oneness is fully consummated in your being and your body, there won't be a feeling of an other.
Bring me all of your medicine in my room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Jesus is our doctor. He writes all our prescription. He brings me all of my medicine in my room.
I don't know why you're going back to all of that stuff, but anyway.
I feel a motor working and it's cranked up and it's ready to go. I know that my wheels on my vehicle now are around and they done stop turning square.
Oh my God.
I'm hitting everything on the highway that I can hit because I'm headed back to the full awareness of my divine consciousness that has always been the same consciousness in everybody that I'm talking to. Jesus is on the main line. I don't have to tell him anymore what I want. I am the expression of everything that I need. I'm the full power of God, and you are too, right there, taking care of everything. Everything is all right because I made it to my destination.
Since you said this is good medicine.
Woo! What the doctor ordered.
I'm going to say this. I know some of you guys who are not necessarily either have allegiance to Jesus Christ, who are not necessarily Christian.
No.
Those of us who have that allegiance to Jesus Christ.
Come on, talk to me, baby.
We tend to use the language that of the church, but we understand who Jesus is. You remember in Genesis, in the garden, if the narrative is true, it said when God created Adam and Eve, he called them both Adams. So if God sees his son here in as us, he calls us all Jesus.
Oh my God. Look at here. I'm gonna quit. I feel the calling of God calling me into my prayer closet, and I'm getting ready to take off now. But I'm gonna let the wife have this because I feel the utterance.
You feel it, and you gotta go.
Yeah. It's just strong, and I got to go release the pressure.
All right, sweetheart.
In my closet.
Okay, darling. We thank you for this morning, honey.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right, guys. This has been so good to me this morning, and I pray that it's been just as good to you. Please hit the like button. Use this time to give, to like, to share. And I'm almost willing to say nothing because it's been just that real to us this morning. Sometimes we sit here not knowing what we're going to say, and the Spirit of God preaches to us through and by us, so we know who is speaking. It's not in us that's speaking. And you are hearing not two people separate and apart from you, but you're bringing your own words to you through two different forms, expressing through two different forms. So this is not anything that would elevate the two of us. You're looking at yourself. You're hearing yourself coming through two different forms as expressing that you are. You wanted to hear this morning, and you brought it forth. I just wanted to mention to you that you can give, and I wanted to give you the chance to do that. And I want to thank every one of you for joining us today. Thank you so much. I'm just full. I'm very full today, very full. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Our prayers and light and love go to you and Yolanda. And our prayers and love go to you, Sandra, for your healing, you, Marcine, for your healing, and all of you who are experiencing physical challenges. We send that light and love and hold you there and see you heal and well. And we just thank you so much for tuning in to us today and staying on with us to hear what the Lord had to say today. I just want to sit here for a moment. Let's just sit here and be still for a moment. Just for a moment. Just for a moment. Just for a moment. Sit, as my husband says, sit and marinate in this truth. Marinate in this truth. Go and teach God. Teach God. Teach God by being God. And I'm not talking about arrogance. Teach God by being. Be that. that people are looking for. Be that. It's not words. It's your essence, the essential part, the essential you, that ingredient that is necessary. Necessary. That ingredient that cannot be left out. Otherwise, you would not have the same outcome. Be that. Be that. Just be that. Embody it. And allow yourself to dare to know this about yourself. Dare to believe it. If you can't know it, then believe it until you know it. Because it is true of you. It's true of you. And we choose, Lord, to follow the love of God. We choose to follow the love. We choose to follow the love. We choose to be the love. We choose to be the love of God in this broken world. We choose to be the love of God with those that we have labeled evil. We know now that they are only ones that are led by separatist mindsets. We choose to be the love of God. We choose to be that Jesus. We choose to be that Jesus. Amen and amen. I know that you are listening. I thank you for your love gifts that have come to Pastor and myself. I thank you for the time you've taken to give to Cornerstone. And I want to remind you that when you do give your tithes, your offerings to Cornerstone, we tithe from your tithe to a charitable organization. And right now we're doing it to Crisis Control, who helps people in their challenging situations. And we may switch that at some time to another charitable organization. But we want you to be diligent about giving your tithes and your offerings so that we can continue to help people with that. For those of you who have not directly sent money to other charitable organizations who want to make sure that it goes to the right place, we will send your tithe, a tenth of your tithe, to that charitable organization. And you'll be helping people. You'll be helping people without even doing anything. Just send your tithes and your offerings to Cornerstone. And again, we will be back on Tuesday at 7. And we look forward to seeing you there again. And I want you to enjoy your day today. If you're here in the Carolinas and you got snow, be careful if it's slick out there. If you're somewhere in the sunny Denmark, as Sinette has said, she's in her evening in sunny Denmark. Enjoy the rest of your evening, Sinette, and those of you who are in other places. And we had one lady who was in Hawaii, so I'm not sure what time it is there, but enjoy the rest of your day or the rest of your night. We love you. We'll see you on Tuesday. All right? All right. I'm going to play a little bit of music, and we're going to take off right here. Okay? Let's see what I can do here to make this good.
Smiles and happy tears where our hearts are open and there are no more fears. A place where love is seen on every face and arms are open wide to embrace. A place where everyone measures the same. Where you are true though, and yet no one knows your name. A place where mysteries are explored. Where truth is accepted and never ignored. A place where those of old age are wide-eyed and still learning. When time seems to rewind. seems